Before the show, we were talking to your mom, Sinclaire, and who's like the biggest partiers on the Bowerman team? Is he?
He is.
What are the stakes on a game of Flip Cup?
If we win, you guys gotta shave your heads.
Okay, it's on. Welcome back to the Beer Mile Podcast. Today, we have two ladies from the Bowerman Babes. We had a lot of fun with them. Got a lot of insight into their life outside of running, as well as a game of Flip Cup 2v2 with some pretty high stakes on the line, including Adam and I having to shave our heads if we lose. So you're not going to want to miss that. The game of Flip Cup coming later in the episode. But first, big news, y'all. On this episode, we have a sponsor. Adam, can you talk about our sponsor, The Harrier?
They're our first sponsor ever. Pretty special. They're giving our listeners 20% off all Harrier products. They're pretty hype. We're wearing 2 t-shirts right now. They've got memes. They've got some dope regular shirts. Your girlfriends will love them.
If you're listening to this podcast, you probably saw the Craig and Eric episode. They sent us this thing. Look at this drip. Craig Ingalls holding the Bud Light. I mean, kind of being softy for not drinking the Bud Light, but I mean, this is a hype shirt.
That's like a hype shirt.
This shirt that Adam is wearing.
You got Don't Run instead of Let's Run. You got these stickers. You got Have Yourself a Day. You've got Shelbo with the French Bread Friday.
Oh man, I mean, Drip Chogi. Come on, did you guys see that GQ edition with Drip Chogi? I mean, damn, the thing was fire. Have you ever seen a runner look so fly as my man's Eliud Kipchoge? Also, if you follow Matt Centrowitz, you would have seen on his Instagram that he was rocking the Centros shirt from the Harrier. So, man, if you're a fan of running and you haven't bought a shirt, a sweatshirt, a mug, a sticker from the Harrier, like, who are you? The Harrier is your spot, and you need to use the code BeerMile20. We'll also have that in the description, but BeerMile20 gets you 20% off.
We talked to Vanessa Fraser and Sinclaire Johnson. Get some good tips from Sinclaire's mom. Shout out to Claire Johnson.
We pull our usual, recently our usual of we're going to reach out to some folks, some friends, some family of the guests of the pod, get some insight, get some details. So yeah, Sinclaire's mom, thank you so much. Thanks for giving us a couple of conversation topics for the ladies. And I mean, it all comes down to who's the better Flip Cup player. Is it Nessa and Sinclaire, or is it the boys?
Will you see us in the next episode with our heads shaved? I don't know.
Who knows? Head shaved, ass tats. What are you gonna see? Or Nessa and Sinclaire are gonna owe us some drinks, maybe a night at the club. I mean, we also, you gotta suit up, just like with Ali Ostrander and Spencer Brown. You gotta put on the attire, look good, feel good, legs feeling good, all those things. So that's coming later in the episode. One other thing I would say, if you're looking for a GPS watch, make sure you're looking at Garmin. Garmin, the best running GPS watches out there. So if you're looking for a new Garmin for yourself, treat yourself, or a friend or family member, click the link in the description. It really helps support the podcast. Note, yes, we do get a kickback on you clicking that link, but you're supporting the podcast as a result. So if you're looking for a new GPS watch or even a casual watch, make sure you click the link in the description. We really appreciate it.
And with that, let's get into the interview with Nessa and Sinclaire.
And do you prefer Nessa or Vanessa?
Either one.
Either one's okay?
What about Jean?
Huh?
What about Jean?
Jean?
Yeah.
How do you know that's my middle name? Someone told them. That was not me. That was not me. I promise.
Nessa, I asked Sinclaire for dirt and she didn't give me any.
Yeah, I honestly could not think of anything.
That's okay.
I was going to tell him, I was going to say, ask about Nordstrom. Oh, gosh. But then I was like,
Ask what about Nordstrom?
Just some guy gave me $1,000 gift card to Nordstrom.
Like a sugar daddy? Like, what's the deal here?
No, I didn't give him anything in exchange.
You just got,
I promise.
like, was it legit? You like $1,000?
I used it.
He's just a generous guy. He's just spreading joy. I like it.
He said, yeah.
Wow. I've never gotten $1,000 to Nordstrom.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're diving right in. So welcome to the show, Nessa and Sinclair. And before the show, we were talking to your mom, Sinclair, and
Oh gosh.
What?
wanted to know a little bit about a name that you're also known as, or at least previously known as, the director. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The director? Oh, I think so. When I was younger and like, I don't know, probably like pre-K-ish age, I got a name for myself as the director at school because I was very bossy and I like to boss people around. So yeah, they call me the director, but honestly don't even really remember that. Like, I don't even know if there's more to the story than that, but that's what they told me I did. So
That's all your mom spilled. So
Yeah.
she didn't give anything more.
She's cool. I told her she's the coolest mom I've ever seen because
really,
she's a physician and an FAA certified drone photographer.
yeah, she's a woman of many talents. She's actually like on her way to Bolivia right now to see the salt flats.
Holy
So-
cow.
Jealous.
She's just a go-getter.
How did she even get into drone photography? I feel like that's I don't know, drones haven't been around that long. It would seem like it'd be a younger generation expertise versus, generation up.
I don't actually know how she got into it. I know she's been into photography for a while now. And then I think she had like a pilot friend. So I think she realized that you could get certified and I guess flying drones. And then also there's like projects. She's actually doing a project with, I think it's Vanderbilt. I think because it's in Nashville, Tennessee, doing a project with them. I mean, she could tell you more about it. I don't really know all the details. But yeah, so she's now like made it into work too, which is kind of cool. So yeah.
Oh, very impressive. I guess before we maybe get into some other spicy things, let's talk about a little bit of running and how you all are doing at altitude camp. We'll save the spice for a little bit later on, but how is the training camp going so far? You're like 4 weeks in now. Are you still feeling healthy, feeling like you're gaining fitness? How's it going?
Yeah, well, I'm actually just 2 weeks in because I got a bit of a late start due to a minor injury that popped up like 2 days before I was supposed to leave for camp in just classic fashion. So that set me back a couple weeks, but I'm finally feeling pretty healthy. Just not like training quite at full volume and intensity yet. But so I'm like just over 2 weeks in, starting to do some workouts, struggling a little bit because everybody else is like fully adapted to altitude, but
Still crushing though. Don't let her fool you.
It's kind of nice to be doing camp with lower mileage because I have a bit more energy than normal. And it's like, it actually might end up working out well because I feel like I always leave altitude in a huge hole feeling totally fried. So hopefully this will play into my advantage and I'll be super fresh.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
How about you, Sinclair?
Yeah, it's been good. I guess this is going on our 5th week here. But yeah, it's been up and down. I feel like some workouts go well, some don't go so well. But yeah, just kind of, and also we're doing, like she said earlier, 9-day cycle, which has been kind of an adjustment to get through. So, and I think too, like a lot of the strength stuff that we do at sea level was already hard enough for me. So now doing that at altitude is like 10 times harder. But it's been fun. I mean, I feel like just even doing easy runs around here, you gain a lot more fitness than doing easy run at sea level. So we'll be racing soon too. So I'm excited to see how that will play off in racing.
Yeah. So you're racing the Texas qualifier at the end of February? Is that the race?
Yeah. I'll be in the
1500. Are you racing that one or not yet?
No, I'm not going to be ready for a bit. Unfortunately, I was like super bummed because I missed the whole summer due to Achilles surgery. And then I got to race in December, but I was like super rusty and not super prepared for it. So then in my mind, I was like, okay, February is my time. We're going to have to push that back a little bit, but hopefully targeting maybe early to mid-March to do something. You never know what races are going to pop up these days, but we'll find something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you still have plenty of time until the Olympic trials, assuming that they happen, and
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that they'll happen. So you still have plenty of runway ahead of that, regardless.
That's what I have to keep reminding myself. Like when I have FOMO with everybody racing, just to remember that June is what matters.
Are you gonna take like a joyride vacation to Texas, or is it no go?
Probably not. Actually, really, really hate flying, so I will avoid flying at all costs. So probably no joyride to Austin for me.
How long are you planning? Like, how long does the altitude camp last in Flagstaff? How long is Bowerman planning to be there?
It'll be total 7 weeks. So we've got this week and then 2 more weeks, I believe.
Got it. Okay. And then back to Portland after that?
Yeah.
Very nice. And you're both relatively new to pro running. How has the transition been from college to joining Bowerman, and especially Bowerman with Jerry being known for, I guess, pretty intense training, as well as his, I guess, marquee, like you don't even know you're going to race until the week of sometimes. How has that transition been for both of you?
It's really weird because I definitely still feel super new to the scene. And then when I think about it, I've been on this team for 2.5 years already, which is kind of terrifying. But to be fair, you know, the first year I kind of wrote off as a complete transition year. And the second year was COVID plus surgery year. Yeah. So I kind of write that off too. I had, you know, one really good race last February in Boston when I ran my 5K PR. But aside from that, I feel like I haven't done much so far as a pro, and it's kind of been due to those factors that I just explained. So in a way, I feel really new still. But I mean, the transition's super hard. I found the first year to be really difficult. I was just physically beat down all the time. And then also the mental transition is pretty challenging when you are surrounded with the caliber of women that we're surrounded with. It's just, it's sometimes hard to, you know, feel good about yourself, I guess. But it also, on the other hand, like definitely makes you your absolute best. So it's worth it. It's worth the challenge. And I'm glad I kind of had one really big breakthrough race last year, because that gave me the validation that, you know, this training system works really well. You just have to keep your head down for a while. You have to believe in yourself, even when other people around you might be doing something way harder, way faster. You have to have faith that like the training is working for you and that you're going to get there someday too. So I think that's been my biggest lesson. And I hope that I'll be able to carry that into this summer and finally kind of put together a really good, strong pro campaign for the summer.
Yeah, we're rooting for you. Is there anyone on the team that has helped you kind of along your way transitioning to being on the Bowerman Club?
Yeah, I think a lot of people come to mind. Like, it's not just one person, but anytime just somebody on the team shares their experience and their story of transitioning, like Shelby has told me so many times how much she struggled her first year, and to hear that from somebody, you know, as amazing as Shelby, and to think that she struggled as well. I mean, nothing else can make you feel much better than that. But I mean, a lot of other people too similarly struggled their first year, second year, or they might have kind of a down period after a big race, and it's just kind of all part of the process. But to be able to just, like Emily, for example, her different injury struggles and the way she's bounced back from those. And, you know, Courtney has shared different struggles that she's had with her confidence. And I think that just, I don't know, it's so much more relatable when everybody else has experienced similar things, and to see what they've been able to accomplish despite those challenges gives me, I think, a lot of hope that, you know, we'll be able to get to those goals at some point too.
Yeah, absolutely. And distance running is such a long-term game regardless. Like, it takes years to get to where you want to be. And especially coming off like a double boot situation, like it's going to take a long time to build back up the strength and coordination and everything that goes with that. to be at like the best, best in the US, best in the world level. So yeah, I mean, definitely plenty of time. And Shelby's been like kind of an example of just that steady progression over time as well, coming off of college and then all the way through her pro career thus far. So yeah, definitely plenty of runway for you.
Yeah, for sure. This one's been crushing the transition so far.
Oh man. Okay.
Watch out for big things.
Having up too much. Like to under promise and over deliver,
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, it's been good. I feel like I was very intimidated coming into this group. Just being surrounded by the people that I train with every day is, still very intimidating. And then also I've like notoriously been a very low mileage person. And I think coming into the program, knowing that Jerry definitely puts emphasis on higher mileage and just like more volume in general, was a little bit scary. And I think that when you're, like Vanessa was saying, it's like when you're surrounded by that every single day, it's kind of hard mentally to like stay true to yourself, I guess, and stay like, okay, what I'm doing works for me. And, this is just how I operate. This is what makes me at my best. But nonetheless, it's been so fun to like be in a group again. I feel like my first year as a pro, I was still at Oklahoma State, just kind of training on my own. So to have, we have 9 other women on the team now. So like to have 9 other women like to train with, and just like not only on the track, but then like off the track, just to be surrounded by them and like, see what they're like, and I learn their lifestyle and just be like immersed in that. It's been a lot of fun. So I definitely been very, very humbled being here, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. And I feel like for me, when I'm having fun with training, I feel like things go well. And I'm definitely like finding the joy back in training again. And that's been very exciting. So. And
that you're running a race like a month ahead of time. That's a pretty big.
I know. Yeah. When I got the text, Jerry was like, "Okay, have your agent sign you up for this race ASAP." I was like, "Wow, this is some heads up. We like that."
That's excellent. Curious, how does 2021? How does the outlook look for Craig?
My Craig?
You're Craig.
Oh,
so
ownership.
You're Craig. So you're Craig. I think he's a fan of the Beer Mile podcast. I got a follow from him on Instagram a couple days ago.
Really?
Well, he's going to be a fan now.
Yeah, he moved out to Portland with me just in December, but he's been still training, unsponsored, but still going to take a crack at the Olympic trials. I think he graduated in 2017, so he never was able to like do an Olympic year. And so I think that's been like his main goal since leaving college, is to like give a crack at trying to make the team. So yeah, he's found some people to train with. He's trained with the other Craig, sometimes in Portland. And then there's like a good amount of, weirdly enough, there's like a good amount of people that ran in college, but are still like work, but like are still very serious about training. And so like Chris's boyfriend too, Kellen, has been training too. So it's nice for him to have people like that also to mix it up with. And yeah, he's been good, and hopefully we'll see some fast times come out of him later this spring. I actually think he's running the 1500 as well in Austin.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Okay. Well, spoiler alert, we're going to be there. And also we are, I guess.
Yeah, can we?
I'll say it now. So it's not, I need to sign the contract, but by the time that this podcast comes out, it'll be official. So if it's not, I'll just cut it. But the men's 1500 is going to be the Beer Mile Media men's 1500. We're sponsoring the race.
Nice. That's
so Craig's really going to be a fan.
So Craig's going to realize he's running the Beer Mile Media men's 1500.
I love that. That's awesome.
Shoot, maybe I should come now.
Yeah, you should.
That's why we asked about flying. I don't know. Might have to brave the skies.
Yep.
Is it because you're afraid of flying, or it's just like a generally unpleasant like trip?
Kind of both. Yeah, I'm an anxious flyer, but obviously I've had to fly a ton. through college and as a pro, and I just deal with it. But
what about joining the van life and just driving your way there?
Speaking of Craig's.
Speaking of this guy right here.
I don't think Jerry would approve of that. There's definitely no way that he would like that.
There's absolutely no way.
Why? He doesn't want you sitting in a car for that long, or like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate driving more than like 45 minutes myself.
True.
So I always feel like crap getting out of a car. So totally get that.
I also feel like the last minute race plans would not bode well with having to drive.
Yeah.
True.
Like, oops, I needed to leave yesterday to make it in time.
Question. So we understand that either both of you, or at least Nessa, but I think both of you are at least somewhat into golf.
You
Is
guys
that
are
correct?
so afraid every time we ask a question.
Yeah, come on. This isn't bad. This isn't bad.
Jeez.
I'm just nervous. I'm just I'm actually sweating right now.
Me too.
Like, I have no idea what he's gonna ask us.
Like, how do you know what my middle name is? I'm just like, who did you talk to?
We promise we're harmless.
John Ross told me, don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding. If he's listening, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I'm like, geez, you really went through the sources.
We didn't go that far.
I wouldn't put it past us, though. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, our history now after the Craig and Eric episode of going all out, but we felt more comfortable doing it with them because we can see that they're just squirrely guys, and so it was like whatever. I mean,
yeah, you guys are relatively straight shooters.
at least on the surface.
We can handle anything you shoot our way. We're ready.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
all right.
So who's
Me profusely sweating. It's fine though.
But yeah, I mean,
the better golfer between the two of you?
Not me. I don't know.
Not you? Okay.
Not
Well,
me.
we got an incorrect source on the golfing for Sinclair then. Okay.
Who was your source?
did you went out with the
Okay, we did a par three. We did a par three golf course. I also
look at her.
Anybody was there, they all knew I was the worst golfer of them all. So I don't know why they would say that.
It was more that we saw that you went golfing. That was
Okay.
pretty much it.
I hit up the driving range on occasion as kind of a hobby, and I would love to, have more time to get better at it, but I enjoy it just as a little side gig.
I feel like golfing is a pretty good complement to running. It doesn't like tire you out too much. You can drive around in the cart and get up there and swing a golf club every once in a while. I mean, so you don't play super often. It's just once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And a cart is definitely a must.
Yeah, for sure. And skiing, do you think you'll get back into skiing post professional running? Obviously, like with the contract and everything, I assume you can't ski. So
yeah, I can't ski, but definitely as soon as I retire, I'm going straight to the slopes, and I'm going to do like a full ski bum winter, before I start phase 2 of my career, whatever that is. I'm blocking off multiple months to ski all over, maybe like even Europe too. Like I'm all out on
big
this
ski trip.
retirement ski bum life. I literally have been just watching ski videos in bed while at camp. Like I'm just desperately really missing skiing. So
We'll send you that one Red Bull skiing vest. Have you seen that?
Oh, the best.
It holds like 10 beers in it.
You totally need that.
Well, that'll be great for retirement life.
Exactly. That would be pretty epic to like finish a Europe track circuit, like crush some Diamond League races, run PRs, retire, and then just go to the Alps and just have a whole winter of just skiing the Alps. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. So
What are the thoughts on a post running career right now? Shot in the dark.
I actually really don't like that question, only because I just started running. And so I feel like when I'm around my relatives, like that's always the question. It's like, so what are you doing next? Like as if they don't think this is like an actual career. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I honestly don't know. I really don't.
yeah, I'm working on it. Hopefully I'll have it figured out by the time I'm done running. That's
You're both new.
I was gonna say you don't
no
need
rush.
to, just like Sinclair said, you don't need to work on it yet.
Right.
Yeah, like that's a future issue. Hopefully you're running for 10 more years and crushing it. So
yeah, I definitely want to do something really cool that I love. So that's what we're looking for.
Nice. Good answer. Good answer.
Like a ski instructor, a ski bum. Perfect. Living in the Alps. So, Sinclaire, you're from Florida. Have you ever done it's like a very common thing to search for like Florida man and then your birth month. Have you ever done that?
Oh, I haven't done that for my birth month, no.
You
But
haven't
I
done
have done the Florida man before, yeah.
Okay.
Search,
Okay,
yeah.
so
It's coming in hot.
we
You guys done
like
it?
so yeah, when we saw you were from Florida, we were like, okay, well, we'll try it, we'll see what we get. And it was like I couldn't believe the things that came up for both of you. So we did a search for both of you for your birth months, and we're like, is this even real life? Like, how is this news? And it's like actual news sources that post this. So what's the first one for?
So for Sinclaire, the title of the news story is "Thong-Wearing Florida Man Arrested While Building Shed with Garbage on Stranger's Property."
Oh my gosh. Where was that?
In Florida, of course, in Martin County.
Oh, I don't really know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what city that is. And then for Nessa, it was Florida man arrested for pelting girlfriend with McDonald's sweet and sour packets.
I feel like this should be like it's almost like astrology. What does that say about you two?
Oh yeah, we could read into that. Well, the pelting the sweet and sour packets kind of makes me think like there's this feisty, aggressive side, but you're not
That's what I
really
was gonna
actually
say.
that dangerous.
True. All right.
You're going to do no harm, but you are going to show you are a little aggressive.
Yeah.
You're a chaotic neutral, that's for sure.
And I feel like mine would be something about, I don't know, like almost like being resourceful, like using garbage to build something.
You're scrappy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
scrappy.
don't know why you'd get arrested for that. You're just trying to help build shelter for someone. I mean, that sounds fine, right?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a thong?
Well, that's a good point. It's like
Make some money somehow.
It's okay. We won't tell your mom. Speaking of which, wait, we forgot one more question that your mom asked. So allegedly you were a lacrosse player.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that there was perhaps a time where you were too aggressive on the field and the coach had to talk to her.
Yeah.
Do you
So
remember what she said?
It was after maybe some tournament. And I always hated how girls lacrosse was considered a non-contact sport versus like men's lacrosse. I mean, they just whack.
Oh yeah, it's savage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I always wished that girls lacrosse was more like that. And we could check each other, but there were like so many rules around it. And I think I probably had a bad check. It was probably definitely illegal. And I think that, one of my coaches came up to my mom after the game and was like, your daughter's just way too aggressive, something like that. So
you didn't get
my mom took it as a compliment though. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a good thing.
Well, when I messaged her, she was like, yeah, so the coach told me this and I like basically didn't care. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that's just like your competitive nature now and you're translating that into running, or like are you secretly like a super like ready to get in a scrap, like feisty person, or is it one time? Oh, you are. Okay.
I'm fiery. Yeah.
Okay. So
fiery personality.
So we had another guest, Eric Jenkins, who is also scrappy and may know some amount of, he's got some
jiu-jitsu and some other things. Yeah.
Sinclaire versus Eric. Nessa, who comes out on top?
I mean, I have to go with my girl.
Of course.
I have to.
Well, I mean,
Again.
yeah, especially you give her, is it called a lacrosse club? Lacrosse
stick?
Lacrosse stick? I mean, yeah, give you that as a weapon and you'll just destroy them, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Let's talk about, so a little more digging. Let's talk about some dancing. Sinclaire, are you still like a big dancer, or was that just like kind of some one-off things here and there, 5-ish years ago?
On Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you really are multi-talented.
She's
good.
a really good dancer, actually.
How far did you guys go?
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had time.
5 years ago.
So you remember like there was a trend, it was after Vine, but before TikTok, probably like 2016.
Yeah.
And there's like a video shooting out of a car and one person is in like the driver's seat, like at a gas station. And then you're in the back seat, like doing some dance.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
We'll throw it up on the green
Yeah,
screen.
it's gonna be up on the green screen behind us, but
Yes.
it's actually like a really good dance though. You crushed
Yeah,
it.
it's good. I think you
Wow,
got
I actually want to see this dance because I mean, like, I vaguely know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'll text it to you right now.
I actually have a good dance video of her in the kitchen from the other night if you guys want that too.
Oh, send that for sure.
We've been watching like the Bowerman Track Club Insta stories and some of the, stories of you cooking and whatnot. Like you're clearly having a good time, like doing some dancing and so on. So, but I'm sure that's also just the not super embarrassing dancing that gets out to the public versus what maybe you have.
The inside.
Yeah, the actual inside dancing.
Yeah. We do after dinner. We like to crank up the music.
Like, yeah.
And after it while we're cleaning up. So
Yeah.
After
that's
cutting
the real.
It's like the dishwashing club vibes. It's about as
I love that.
the altitude camp. And we're like, I
What's
can't wait to be in a club again, after camp and after COVID. Like,
It's been a long time since we grinded.
What's your go-to like playlist for washing the dishes / going to the club apparently?
Playlist? Well, we don't have playlists.
Like genre music.
Yeah.
Oh, genre. Probably some like trap music.
There we go.
Just getting real down and dirty with the dishes.
There we go.
Down into
Do you have any like artists that you're really feeling? I guess it could be the trap playlist or just in general. What sort of music do you vibe with like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, right now I'm really vibing with Tequila Shots by Kid Cudi. That's been the song of altitude camp, so
that's always on there.
that's always on.
There we go. Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's any.
How does Marielle feel about this?
She loves it. She loves us.
She puts up with us kids.
We get a few laughs out of her. I think she enjoys it.
Yeah, she does.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten her to participate in the dancing though yet, but we still got 3 more weeks here. So
You got time. You
can wear her down, I'm sure.
That's right. How about you, Nessa? What's the music that you listen to on a day-to-day basis?
Same. We're on the same page.
We like very are like I feel like our playlists are very eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
We can go from some Big Wild.
Yes, we love Big Wild.
We can go to
Nines. Such a vibe.
What else can we can go then we can go to some Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi. Then we can go to sometimes I like listen to some like Willie Nelson.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the softest shit you guys play? Like the most sappy, lame music?
Sam Smith? I don't know.
Okay. That is pretty sappy. That's fair enough.
But it sounds like you're just mostly in hype mode. Like no time for
Constantly a vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Pre-workout hype, post-workout hype, pre-dinner hype, dishes hype.
The Packers lose their playoff game. Sam Smith.
Yeah.
So, which one of you is the better cook?
Oh gosh, no.
Yes.
No, I feel like we're on the same level.
She has all her Instagram recipes saved. She follows all her food accounts. Her like explore page is just all food.
But I'm not as good at executing. Like I can look at a dish and say, okay, I want to make this, but does it always turn out the way it's supposed to?
It's been pretty good.
Well, then you can have Marielle save you. You're the creative.
Yeah.
She can execute.
Yeah. Marielle's just like whipping up some delicious stuff. She just right off the top of her head. Yeah. We can't do that. We got to follow a recipe.
Okay, that was exactly what I was going to ask. Is are you like a recipe follower?
Recipe follower through and through,
and I still mess it up.
See, I think that's your problem. Is you got to take like cooking as an art, and because you follow all these food recipes and everything, like you just got to trust that you're going to figure it out and just start throwing stuff together and it's going to taste amazing.
I
So
think
you got to trust yourself.
that'd be quicker because I just feel like it's so tedious to read one ingredient and then measure it out. And
Reading recipes makes me feel like I'm dyslexic. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes so long and then you have more dishes to do too. It's like, it's, yeah.
Oh,
way too much.
so many dishes. We just are so inefficient. Just like,
But-
and well, Emma's recipe that we did, the beef.
It's all right. It's all right. We won't cut that because that was kind of funny.
That was hilarious.
Well, I got chastised for saying it wrong on the story. So
The bibimbap.
Bibimbap.
Yeah.
The bibimbap. The recipe says prep time 10 minutes, cook time 10 minutes.
Yeah, you have to pickle veggies for 30 minutes. So I'm like, I'm confused how this adds up.
At Emma.
Yeah, what is
It took
this?
us 90 minutes to prep. 90.
So maybe it's just an expertise difference. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think you can rush pickling. I mean, that takes
Well,
time.
maybe it's like one of those cooking shows where it's like you have it prepared before.
Yeah, and then,
I
and then
pickle
it's
these
20
before.
minutes.
Yeah.
Also, there were a lot of dancing breaks in that. So
I was just going to say, do you even care that it takes longer to cook and do dishes? Because it's all just like being at the club anyway. It's like
yes.
having fun. So
Anything to replicate being at the club.
you probably purposefully like take out all the silverware and get it dirty so that you can just have more time doing dishes.
There should be like a club where there's club music going on and they teach you how to cook during club music. I'd go to that.
I mean,
I would go to
Sign me up.
Yeah.
there are a lot of cooking classes. I'm sure you could find one that has like some
beats.
upbeat music while you're doing it. Yeah.
I'm all about making cooking more lit.
Yeah.
We'll make cooking lit again. That's a good. We
Yeah.
should get a laptop sticker for that.
That's a good shirt idea or sticker idea. Okay, noted.
Well, I've got a good one.
Let's go.
All right, if you two were interviewing each other, what question would you ask?
Do you have something in mind?
I'm just thinking of things that probably you wouldn't want to be said out loud.
Oh yeah, we probably shouldn't go there. So
I mean, you said you can handle anything, but apparently not from Sinclair.
I'm just trying
What
to
would you
think
ask me?
if like we're talking like a serious running question or
Yeah,
just
what
a
kind of interview?
random.
Well, I mean, what are you curious
So
about?
if your goal is to get the most people entertained for your podcast and you're interviewing someone and it happens to be the other person, like what's the thing that's going to get you the most listens and people to be like, wow, that was an amazing podcast.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
It's very on the spot. But the good thing is, even if you pause, I just cut out all the pauses and it sounds like
Chris
you.
will make you look good. He
Yeah.
makes me look
I make
good,
everyone
so.
look good. I cut out all the pauses and then it's just like they came up with it off the cuff. So
I don't know if we're that interesting, but
Oh, please.
you both are so humble. You're like they're like each other's the better cook. Like we're not that interesting.
True.
Whatever. I think you're just being humble.
we were just talking the other day about how the absolute worst podcast question is when they ask you what your hobbies are.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Well, I didn't ask that.
Let me cross that off. Cross it off. Yeah.
Because we're like, well, like, you know, we,
Like long walks on the beach.
my go-to is like, I say I like to hike because it's just like sounds like fun and outdoorsy, but the reality is like we're
We have
way
no
too
time.
tired to hike.
We don't actually hike.
Basically, it's like a dating profile question.
Yeah, I was gonna say you hike like two weeks of the year or whatever when you're not in your training
Exactly.
cycle.
Or it's like I'm getting into reading, but I haven't picked up a book since 2016.
I read one page and I pass out because I'm so tired from the workout. I'm really trying to get into cooking, but the reality is I hate it and I suck at it.
And I only know how to make mac and cheese. And boiling water is a big step for me.
Exactly. If you like tee up one of those hobbies, then someone can just dive into it and get you like, oh, what's the book you're reading? Or like, what's your
Exactly. You're
best
like,
recipes?
True.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad we tried to learn enough about you beforehand that we didn't have to ask such such lame questions.
Yeah.
Put it that way. Yeah.
I always like, I don't know if this is like this is going to get you the most views type of question, but I'm always interested in learning what people's pet peeves are. So
that's a good
wanted
one.
to know what your pet peeve
That's
is.
good. So there you go. That's the question for each other that you have. What's each other's pet peeve?
I want to know what you're going to say. Like, do I do it? What if
No.
I don't like dirty hands when you eat. Like, I have to have my hands like freshly washed if I'm going to touch my food. Otherwise, I have to like, if I'm eating a burger and I haven't washed my hands right before eating, I have to like eat it with a napkin, kind of germaphobe.
So does it bother you to like see someone like digging their hands into the ground beef and then making the patties and stuff? Like, does that bother you? Or if you know that they have clean hands, it's okay? It does. Yeah.
I actually hate raw meat too.
Or when people like have had some cheesy chips or something and then they lick their fingers.
Oh yeah, licking the fingers is disgusting.
So I vibe with that because my family made fun of me growing up because whenever we had ribs, I would just use a fork and knife because I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that spicy of a pet peeve. That's pretty fair. I mean, so are you saying that Sinclaire is like very like, you know, touchy with all the food? No? Okay.
That was just the first thing that came to mind.
Fair enough.
I feel like I'm like super organized / clean to like almost to a fault. I feel like I know like when I was in college living with roommates, like my biggest pet peeve would be just even like, I don't know, just like a blanket unfolded on the couch would just like drive me crazy. And it's like that is like too much to ask of someone, I feel like, but yeah, I feel like stuff like that drives me crazy.
Do you think that women are more strict on that than guys? Like, it seems to me like my perception, at least the guys that I know, I was going to say like both my wife and his girlfriend are very like super organized, super clean, like fold the blanket every time you use it type of people. And I don't know, I feel like every guy that I know is just kind of like, whatever. Not every guy. Some guys are very organized, but it seems to be that that's the case. I'm not trying to get into like a sexist war here, but I'm just curious.
We could though.
I will say that. So I live with Elise Cranny and Sean McGordy, and I'm not a super messy person, but I'm also not like, you know, perfectly OCD organized. Yeah. And Sean is like way more neat and tidy than I am. And every time he Normatechs, he has to like squeeze out all the air of his Normatec boots and have it perfectly rolled up, and everything's like perfectly packaged back into the Normatec box. And mine are like, you know, shoved under the bed. Like, and that just like I just cannot be bothered to deal with that. So I will say there's one guy who's definitely more OCD than me.
I do feel like it's a mixed bag because I've met girls that are not like, that are messy and just like disorganized. And then I've also met guys like Craig, my boyfriend, is super organized, super clean, way more than I am. And I think I'm a little bit too much sometimes. So wow, if that says anything. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it depends on the person. Honestly, I don't think it's like I feel like sometimes my girls tend to be a little bit more like that than guys, like on the average, but yeah.
So I guess that's why you like Craig, because he's super organized. He's not going to
plus. That's why I like him.
That's why I keep him around.
All right, curious on a couple like Bowerman Club related questions. So we interviewed Carissa a while back. She was actually one of our first guests. Me being an Iowa native boy, you know, she's Iowa native. So she answered a couple of these questions as well. So I'm curious on your thoughts on, of the Bowerman Track Club, who's like the biggest guy and girl like partier, and it can be on the off season, of course, but who's like the biggest partiers on the Bowerman team? Is he?
He is.
I was gonna make fun and say that Carissa said
all these stories you've been telling me. Come on now.
Hey, I heard some stories from your college days. It sounded pretty wild.
You were tied then.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think we both probably like to have a little bit of fun, at the appropriate time.
Of course.
So
Who's potentially the better beer miler between you two?
I cannot chug for my
you
life.
can't.
No, so I would not. I'd be out of that.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. Have either of you tried one or no?
No.
Tried it. No, I did a milk mile in college, or not college, in high school, which was terrible.
That might be hard.
I was gonna say, I think a milk mile is just grosser. Like I would much prefer to drink the beer versus having all that nasty, like just fat sugar.
Yeah. Also the carbonation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would prefer to do a wine mile, to be honest.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that'd be a hell of a hangover. I don't know about that one.
It would burn a hole in my stomach.
Yeah.
The wine
A
mile.
Cabernet mile.
Cabernet, yeah, specifically.
Seriously. So how about the guys team? Like who? So Carissa didn't mention either of you as like the biggest partier.
Nice.
She said Shelby and herself.
I mean, yeah.
Fair. Okay.
I feel like, yeah.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that most people like to have fun in the off season, and decompress a bit. How about from the guys' side? Are there some like party boys on the team? Obviously not during the season, but who likes to go to the club and listen to the trap music?
Who's going to the
off-season?
club with you guys?
What guy would go to the club with us? I do feel like not anymore, maybe, but Evan maybe used to be wild, or I know he has some really wild friends from Chicago, so I've heard some stories, but I don't know if he would hit the clubs with us. Although he would traditionally host the team Halloween party.
Okay.
Which we couldn't have this year because of COVID, but
he was my sleeper pick for the beer mile like a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
that's a good.
That could be a good one.
No, I think
see that.
Yeah.
He actually grew up like an hour from here.
Yeah, he's really
Pretty
close.
close.
He grew up pretty close to where we're at. So
Nice.
yeah.
Grant can have fun, I would say.
Yeah, he's a young guy, so
Yeah, I kind of think like, we got to get with the younger crowd here because,
that's true.
yeah.
Very cool.
Lopez does like to have beers. Like he's the one person that I would see actually order a beer at altitude camp when we'd go out to dinner in Park City. Like he'd
Nice.
enjoy a beer.
A
Nobody else is drinking.
Yeah,
a responsible beer.
altitude beer.
Yeah.
That's actually Carissa said that she thinks Lopez could crush a beer mile. Like
Oh
yeah.
I could see that as well.
He's a
like,
monster.
He's just everything about him. He's just like jacked. Like his he has to have a high metabolism. Like I think he would do really well. Plus he's just fast. So
That helps.
Okay, so no crazy things thrown out there, but I would say we'll see if Evan, maybe if he wins a gold medal this year in the steeple, maybe like his real party boy side will come out after that. Like he'll have to celebrate that one. So
I would love that.
If he wins a gold medal, I would get his name tattooed on my butt with like the A instead of Jaeger, like Jaeger, like a Jaeger bomb.
Oh,
That'd be a good
Evan
ass
Jagerbomb.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
If he comes on the podcast and he wins a gold, then sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, at this point, I'm just like itching to go to the tattoo shop. So
this guy over here, he always is like throwing out like we should get an ass tat of this. And neither of us have tattoos, but every time we like whatever the situation is, it's like, oh, we're gonna get that as a tattoo. It's like we still haven't done it, but
now it's because of COVID. So
well, sure.
Good excuse. Tattoo, it's definitely going to be on your ass.
I mean,
is
for
that
sure.
like the optimal first tattoo though? I don't know.
I mean, if I'm gonna pay to get a tattoo, I'd prefer that it gets seen, as long as it's not something that's like that I wouldn't want someone to see. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't want to pay for something that no one's going to see. That seems kind of ridiculous.
True.
Yeah, I agree.
Another Bowerman question, running related. Curious what you think for how many Bowerman ladies and men say qualify for the Olympics, and then how many medal? I mean, are we gonna see like a Bowerman sweep at like the 1500, the 5K, and then maybe even a 10K?
I mean, I feel like
it's possible.
That's definitely
possible.
That's definitely what Shalane and Jerry are dreaming of. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard talk about that.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing, but obviously extremely hard. I just feel like, especially on the women's side, distance running is the best it's ever been. And there's just, people all over just popping off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would say that's going to be really hard to do, but I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
It's a good like dream scenario to imagine up. I mean, I'd like to say, I don't know. I'd like to say most are going to make the team.
Yeah. Is there already talks? I mean, it's still a ways out, but like working together at the Olympic trials, is that like something you all think about? Like if we could essentially, like what happens at the Olympics a lot of times with like the Kenyan team will kind of like pack up at the front and work together and be too wide or whatever the case is. Is that something that you all think about? Or I mean, I'm sure you will think about it more in a couple months, but curious if that's part of the strategy at the Olympic trials is just like, we're going to have like 6 people in this event, so we can work together and kind of box everyone out essentially. Yeah.
Well, so that's actually basically what happened in 2019 in the women's 5K at USA's. I think there were maybe 5 of us, I think. And we had this whole strategy to work together, but it was like, people are going to trade off taking the lead. We're going to try to make the pace a little bit more honest. But it actually ended up like kind of screwing me over because I was like just way too focused on the strategy and kind of stressed about it. And I kept trying to move up to the front. And that's never how I would run a race. Like I would have, hung back a little bit longer and stayed relaxed on the rail. But instead I was obsessed with like, oh gosh, like Bowerman has to be in the front. And I kept, slingshotting back and forth. So I think it's tough. It's like, obviously cool to try to work together, but you also have to be careful to run your own race and execute the strategy that's best for you. So I think maybe we'll see a combo of a little bit of that, and then just everybody kind of has different strengths as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I feel like we're all like, I don't know, just even at practice, I feel like we're all so different in terms of what is more our real health and what's something that we can work on. So not necessarily like, a race going out hot from the gun is like good for everybody. And then not a race where it's like a sit and kick is like good for everybody too. So yeah, I think it's kind of hard because we're all so different in that way.
So going into a race like that, is Jerry, what's the compromise, I guess, on team execution versus like Jerry working with each of you individually and saying, Sinclaire, like your best strategy is to do this. So like, don't even think about what the other Bowerman women are doing. Like you do this because it's best for you. Like how does a coach, like how does Jerry compromise and kind of balance those two different scenarios?
I'd love to bring him on and ask him more about this.
I mean, if you could get him on, that guy doesn't talk to anybody. So
he barely talks to us.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you, design a plan that's best for each individual? I'm sure it's tough, but I feel like he does a pretty good job about, when he's talking to you, you can tell he's very focused on what's going to make you run the best that you personally can. And that's really what he's trying to do, is just squeeze every ounce of potential out of every athlete. And I think he kind of, knows generally what strategy is going to work for each athlete. Whether or not those perfectly align all the time, I guess he just leaves that up to what happens in the race. He can't control everything that happens, but to even just have kind of plans for different scenarios, like this is what you should do if it goes out fast, this is what you should do if it doesn't, and then just let it play out. He can sit back and enjoy the show, I guess.
That's true. That's true. I guess the benefit for him is that it is impossible to predict how a race is going to play out. So it's like, even if he comes up with some master grand plan, it's like, it's not going to happen that way anyway. So he has that to fall back on really in his strategy. That leads me to like one more question on just how you decided on Nike and Bowerman Track Club as a part of the selection process. Like, what other brands were you looking at? And then what led to your decision? Was it like money because of like Nike offered more money? Was it because you liked Nike's stuff? Was it specifically like Bowerman and Jerry? Like what was the decision process like for both of you?
I'm gonna go first. Sure. I feel like when I went into the process, I knew that it was going to be Bowerman that I wanted to end up with from the beginning. But I also kind of didn't want to make that known to Nike. And since I was going to stay in school for another year, and then also to like just the way the negotiation process works, like you definitely want to have some leverage. And if you go in saying, I want to be a part of Bowerman Track Club, well, Nike's going to say, okay, well then you have to sign with us because you have to be Nike to be with Bowerman. So yeah, I feel like I went in knowing that, but didn't really voice it to anybody, and not even my agent too, because I just wanted to go in kind of as like, you know, a neutral standing position and have Nike come up and have to match other companies that I was presented with. And so, yeah, I just kind of ended up being a perfect storm. I just felt like I had, like I said, a lot of leverage with like I could go back to school, or B, I could go with this company or, you know, whatever it was. So, but yeah, it was Bowerman from the start, only because one, I wanted to train with the best of the best. And I feel like, I mean, this might be biased, but I even thought this beforehand. Like, I don't see any other training group that has more depth or is, you know, has as much range as the Bowerman Track Club. And so I think that was like a big proponent and why I wanted to go with the club. And I also just think that there's like a lot of power in being, especially when I was on a college team, like there's a lot of power in being in a team atmosphere and being surrounded by a bunch of people that are, you know, accomplishing the same goals or like, you know, similar goals. And so, yeah, that was another reason too, was just the numbers that the Bowerman Track Club had, and to be able to, you know, be surrounded by someone who's, I don't know, you know, like Shelby, who's running 3:54, all the way up to like someone like Gwen, who's, you know, training for a marathon, or Emily training for a 10K. Like there's just so many areas that you can improve in when you have so many people of different strengths. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I would say similarly, my eye was definitely on Bowerman. And I think, you know, you look at 2016, how many people they had on the team. And at the end of the day, like, that's what we want to do. We want to make teams. I mean, you know, a lot of these people are trying to medal or have medaled. That's, you know, next step after you've been making teams. Yeah. But just to the idea of like, oh, I want to be around people who are doing and have done the things that I want to do. And that model worked so well for me in college. Just seeing how being around a very like competitive yet supportive team environment that had lots of All-Americans in all different events really pushed me and helped me improve over the years. So I was like, I want to surround myself with the people who are doing the things that I want to do.
For sure. I mean, Bowerman definitely has numbers as far as like number of people across 1,500 all the way up, like performing well. So that makes total sense. And I think it's funny, like when we interviewed Craig and Eric, like they were very much like, oh, we're gonna, like, our team is gonna have the most medals, whatever, like as a percent of our total people and everything. So I'm curious, like, I don't know. I guess I haven't run the numbers to know like who the best team is, or like what the outlook is for either of them. So I don't know, any like shade you want to throw there? I mean, I think you guys are looking pretty good overall going into this Olympic cycle. I mean, everyone ran super well at your different time trials that you've had in the last year, you know, last Worlds, everything like that.
I'm pretty confident where we're at.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I just think strength in numbers is so powerful. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to compete with how many people are gunning for medals on our team this year.
Definitely.
I think it helps too to like, especially if I'm trying to beat Shelby, in the 1500, to train with her every single day and kind of know what her strengths are and what her weaknesses are. And it's like, yeah, I think you could gather that from racing, but like, I can also see it in practice too. And so, I mean, that's not like my goal is to beat her, but it does help to have people around that are like, vying for the same spot that you are, and to just kind of know your competition better, honestly.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I feel like I'm asking all the questions. Is that?
I was waiting until we went into closing questions.
I mean, I feel like I got like two spicy ones.
Yeah, spicy ones?
I have two spicy ones.
Bring them out. Let's go.
All right, two spicy ones. So the way we do it on this podcast is if you're going to ask a spicy question, you have to take like a big chug in order to ask the spicy question.
Oh gosh.
And if you don't want to,
you haven't had any spicy questions yet.
I mean, I don't think we've had anything spicy.
Oh, this is the spicy.
This is
sure.
So we got. I'll go two spicy ones. And so if
beers?
you. Well, I'll go. I'll
chug your other one for you.
Okay, thank you. So, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But then we'll say post Olympics, you owe us each a chug at some event at the end of the season. Well, how about that?
Or at least cover into a club.
Sure. Okay. So first one, and I'll drink while you answer it. So lately on, I think it was 2 days ago. And so when people are hearing this, it's been a couple weeks, so things may have changed. But at the time of this recording, a couple days ago, big topic on Let's Run, that Colleen Quigley is no longer with Bowerman Track Club. Can we confirm or deny? Or are we not allowed to say either way?
Chug a drink.
Well, I'm chugging.
Well, I don't think we can say anything about that. I don't know.
I don't know I don't know the stipulations behind that.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. Cut that one. It's
the second one we had to cut.
Yeah. So
okay.
we like recorded with her a couple weeks ago, and it's actually coming out in like 2 days. But like that was a couple weeks ago, so we didn't like get to ask her that directly or anything. So.
Okay.
But Let's Run there's so much.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know how
of course
found out.
I think it's because there are some Nike employees that go on the forums, and so whether it's accurate or not, but they're stirring the pot for sure. The big thing was like she wasn't in the latest Bowerman picture.
Dude, after I saw that Let's Run post, I felt like such a dumbass because I commented on that photo. I was like, LOL, like missing Colleen and her dog. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I wasn't in the photo.
Yeah,
either.
she
no
wasn't
one
either.
seemed to care.
I noticed. I think it was that plus just like you all have been on, like Nessa, you've been on the Bowerman Insta story like a lot. And so it was like obvious versus she's kind of been MIA. So, okay. So let me finish the other half of this and I'll ask the other question. So I don't know if you,
I don't have to chug.
You can chug. Sure. You can chug for me. So the other question, it's not really spicy for both of you, but if you like heard or listened to or watched or whatever our Craig and Eric episode about like the whole beef between them and Josh Thompson, I'm just curious, like from your perspective, did Josh Thompson and Centro and whoever else, was this like everyone's at practice like, oh yeah, like let's come up with some awesome responses to like stir the beef back to them, or was it? Or were they like actually upset in any way?
Yeah.
Like what was the vibe? Yeah. Do they hate us? Or they like screw those guys on the podcast? Okay. No. I'm just curious what the vibe is on that.
I think it's all in fun and games. I think Centro had a lot to do with what Josh posted.
Yeah.
I figured.
Don't say.
But yeah, I actually asked Josh the other day at practice. I was like, hey, I got a question for you or a proposal for you. I was like, we're doing a podcast at the Beer Mile podcast, guys. I was like, would you like to come make a guest appearance? And I was like, dish some back just for fun and games. But he declined my offer. So
Because he's too nice.
He is way too nice. He can't talk beef. Man, that's about. I assume that. I assume that behind the scenes, especially Centro, was like they're like all plotting and scheming. Like, all right, what's the caption? What's the hashtag? We're gonna get them back. So
it was
okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
The mastermind behind it all.
I'm not surprised at all. Like I've only met him once and like ran with him a little bit in the Chicago, like by happenstance. And I could just tell like his personality. He's very similar to like Craig and Eric and they just like, whatever.
He's a goofball.
Goofball, laid back, quirky, whatever. So.
Yeah.
Okay. See, not that spicy. It wasn't about both of you.
Yeah, they weren't even about us.
About other people.
We should, apparently, like you guys did good at covering up all your experience with clubs because we would ask a question about that.
We didn't have anything spicy. You've done a good job of covering your tracks on social media. So
that's good for if we ever want to run for president. Then.
Exactly.
True.
I mean, I'm screwed if we run for president. I have a Beer Mile podcast. Like, there's no chance I'm ever running for president, but that's fine with me. I don't need to do that. All right. So, are you still both good on time? A few more minutes?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Actually, we got lots of plans to do. You got
a 90-minute cooking session.
Cooking, yeah.
You got an hour of dishes. Cool. So let's do, before we get into the flip cup then, if we're still good to do that, let's get into just some rapid fire closing questions and let's just off the cuff. Let's see what we got.
All right.
Start it off.
Favorite place you've lived and then traveled?
Well, I've only lived in 3 places. So honestly, Portland right now, it's been my favorite. And then traveled, probably Machu Picchu in Peru.
Okay.
So Portland's not my favorite place. I do live there, but it's not my favorite. But I guess, I have like 2 other options after that, both really close to each other. So I'm going to have to go with Stanford. It's a very special place. So my time in college will always be, I think, some of my favorite years just because of the place. So I'll go with that. And then I love Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And, everybody who's trained in San Moritz, Switzerland says San Moritz, but it's for a good reason. Yeah. So that, and also Barcelona.
Okay. Okay. So you've got the mountains, Jackson Hole. You've got the clubs in Barcelona. I see where we're going with this. Okay. Okay.
Man, I forgot that we should have been drinking with like our pinky out the entire time because of Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford, fancy.
That's
school.
how you guys drink, right? Like this.
Actually, no drinking at Stanford. Too much time in the library.
Yeah. A lot of studying, a lot of training.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, Portland, I've actually never been to Portland, but I would assume that California a little bit better weather and climate than Portland. So I can understand that.
Just the winters are bad.
Just the cloudy and rain. Yeah.
But I'm not there in the summer, so.
That's true. You are always traveling for races.
Yeah.
Good point. Favorite alcoholic beverage for both of you?
Well, mine is Nessa because they didn't drink in college.
Yeah, our favorite non-alcoholic beverage.
Actually, I've never drank in our life.
Virgin daiquiris, love.
Yeah, your favorite virgin drink.
Like non-alcoholic beer.
Perfect. O'Doul's, great beer. Great beer.
No, I honestly really like wine. I feel like that's usually like my go-to. Probably in the winter, I would go for a red, like a Cab or a Pinot Noir. And then in the summer, I definitely like Sauvignon Blancs or Pinot Grigios.
So classy.
Mm-hmm.
That is very classy. Sounds like she went to Stanford. I mean, what the heck?
Would fit right in.
I really like a variety. It kind of depends on the mood. If I'm going to cocktail, I like a spicy marg. I do enjoy beer, and then I also like wine, but just red wine, not white wine.
Okay. Type of beer?
Nothing specific, just lighter beers.
Something drinkable, something that you can like just keep drinking at the club and like keep going all night. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Are these clubs like? Is there dancing? Like, what is involved?
Oh yeah.
It's a club.
No. I mean, is that the part that we like about it? Is that there's dancing?
Oh, that there's
music,
dancing.
or is it the drugs? Or
No. You go to the club for the dancing. The drinks are always overpriced and but you're going for the dancing. That's why you're.
Yeah. But at the point where you're going to a club, you're probably already a good amount of drunk. You know, like you're not
you don't
going
have to buy many drinks.
Not speaking from personal
You
experience.
drink before,
Have a really fun
Pre-game
vibey dinner with drinks, and then maybe like a rooftop bar with more drinks, and then you go to the club.
Yep.
That's like,
I told you we should be drinking with our pinkies out.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I mean, this is why Barcelona is so fun because I studied abroad in Spain and like spent a summer there, and Barcelona, like the whole culture of exactly what you're talking about. It's like you'd have a boozy dinner and then you'd like pregame the club from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then you finally go to the club at like 2 a.m. and it's a long night, but it's an absolute blast. Yeah, you would learn if you went there. You would adapt to it after a couple of weekends. You just deal with it.
Elise and I went last summer after the racing season was over, and it was a blast. But I also will say that going to the clubs there as just two girls was kind of like a bad experience.
I bet.
But we really needed some guy friends to be traveling with us.
Yeah.
It's just, Europe is just, it's a different world. So it was quite an experience, but it was still fun.
Yeah. A guy for, I guess, the nicest way I can think of saying it is like guys there are very overly friendly. I'll put it that way. Like they're very open to meeting ladies, being overly friendly. So we
did not want to be meeting anyone. We had no desire in talking to anyone. We just wanted to dance in our own little bubble.
Exactly.
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. That's the
everything good happens. It's a blast. It's a blast. You just haven't been to Spain. He needs to travel to Europe. He hasn't been there yet. We'll get him there at some point. So
anyway.
Okay, these rapid fire questions.
They're not very rapid.
Just pick a couple more. And
okay, favorite event or race that you look forward to every year?
I love Peyton Jordan, just the home track. And every year in college, I'd get to pick the playlist for the 5K while I was racing, so I could have my tunes set and just the home crowd and the track. I'm biased, but I think it's the best track in the world. So I haven't gotten to race it as a pro since the last 2 years were really funky for me. But that's my favorite event.
When you do get to race it, you'll drop like 20 seconds off your PR because it's so fast.
Yeah, another big PR.
Yep.
And I'll be finding my way into the DJ booth so that I can have the right vibes for my race.
Of course.
I'm purely speaking from college experience because I literally my first year as a pro was last year, and well, we know what happened last year. So I would say honestly, the Stanford Invite was like my all-time fave, just because it was like usually
track.
Track. I feel like it was the start of outdoor season, which I love outdoor a lot more than indoor, and the weather was good, and we always got to go to San Francisco the last night of our races. So that was always fun.
Yeah. San Fran stresses me out, but another topic for another day.
Yeah. Totally different topic. All right. Let's go with when searching on Google, if you could pick what shows up first, like running, something else about your life, what would you want to show up first when someone searches your name on Google?
Okay, I have a good one. So when I was younger, I modeled for Iams, the cat food.
Yeah. Wait, you
international cat. What?
You modeled for? Okay, I'm trying to picture this. So it's like, were you like holding an animal, or like what was
like a little kitten? I was probably maybe 6, 7. I don't know. I would ask my mom, but yeah, it was like an international cat food ad for Iams. And that would be really cool if that showed up every single time my name was Googled.
That's amazing. Does everyone on Bowerman just like start off modeling? And
like what is going on?
Yeah. I don't know if cat modeling equates runway. I don't even know what she does, but not judgmental.
I need to see that. Could we get that to go up on the green screen?
I'll find a picture.
Find it somewhere.
It's back here. I'll find it. Hopefully.
I don't have anything good like that. I can't compete with that. That's just too good.
So is it you? Is it you, like, I guess, whatever, at running at Stanford on the track, a picture of that, or is it a picture of you like raging next to Tiesto in Barcelona, like up on the stage with Tiesto, and you're bumping out doing the turntables with them? Like which of those is better for showing up first on Google?
I mean, obviously the latter is way cooler.
Yeah. For sure.
That's going to be her DJ.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. I don't think there's anything like wrong with that. We're allowed to.
You got to talk to Kieran.
Occasionally.
Yeah. I mean,
as long as you have a workout the next day, like I'm not doing anything incriminating.
I mean, honestly, dancing is a good cross train, I think. So.
Yeah.
It's good cardio.
It's also just good. I've always felt to have a little bit of balance and, a release and outlet. And I think you run better when you have that, at least me personally. So,
yep.
I mean, most everyone on the podcast says that.
That's what everyone says.
You're not alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Have you listened to Kieran's music at all? He was on our podcast, Kieran Leonard. He's a house guy, like a little. He's not club house though. It's like it's a little more, I guess, vibey. Like totally different genre. But
I have not listened to any of his music.
Okay. Fair enough.
Stuff.
He makes music though, so I am.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. So. I don't have an excuse.
Well, if you're looking, he made a 30-minute set just for the Beer Mile podcast exclusive. So go back a couple months and you'll find it. So self plug for our own podcast.
Nice. Okay, if you could be a pro in any sport besides running, which sport would it be?
First of all, I would be a male.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah.
And then I would definitely be a pro golfer.
Okay.
That is the lifestyle.
Pro golfer.
Yeah, I envy that lifestyle so much.
I would either be a pro surfer or pro skier.
What if you were skiing? Would it be like? Well, I don't even know what, like tricks, like ramp and stuff, or would it be speed downhill?
Yeah, no, I think like downhill racing, like
downhill racing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So those
are unique answers. We never heard those.
Yeah, before. Those are good. Most people go for NBA or NFL. And that's what I was gonna say. So you don't want to be MJ.
No, two injury risks. Yeah, two injury risks. Yeah.
But I don't know, skiing, that's a lot of torn ACLs, MCLs. I don't know.
You're doing head damage though. Yeah.
That's true. Concussions, a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, I guess. I mean, I'm sure you could still get some pretty bad head injuries, but
I mean, NBA is cool, but I'm just not a baller at all, so it just really doesn't fit my brand.
So are you a Bulls fan, or is this just a Nike thing?
It's a Nike thing.
It's a Jordan thing, yeah. I'm a Jordan fan.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, we're from Chicago. We love the Bulls. MJ was the man growing up, so.
If you guys have time in between your 90 minutes of cooking and dishes, you should watch the documentary on Netflix.
Have you seen The Last Dance?
Oh yes.
Yes, I've already seen it.
Well, they said they said the shirt was just from Nike.
Oh, but you don't have.
No.
We're not like die hard.
It's not like basketball. Like where we like him because it's Jordan, not because he plays basketball. You know.
Fair.
Well, and he's a sick athlete. Like, The Last Dance was great. I watched that this summer while I was recovering from surgery. It was good inspiration. But I have to say, did you guys watch the Blazers game the other night?
Did not see that game.
Well, spoiler, they won.
Spoiler.
Didn't see it. Didn't happen. So I mean,
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to cheer for the Blazers. So that was a big win.
So okay, like this will be my next closing question then, because it's related to this and it's somewhat of a tangent, but not really. So MJ, in that documentary, he's like, obviously everyone thinks he's super cool. He's obviously a great athlete, but he's like smoking cigars, drinking beers, whatever. So why is it not like allowed for runners to have a beer or to talk about going to the club? And like, why is that something that you got to hide versus every other sport is like these guys and gals, like they're all drinking, they're all whatever. Like, do you have any thoughts on that? Or
I've actually always wondered that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, I feel like it's a more of like, because like these athletes have to use their body in the same way that we, like, it's not like they're using their body in a less way. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like it's more of just this culture that's the running community. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's kind of frowned upon to post a picture with like a beer in your hand, or even like, I don't know, sometimes even like talking about going out or smoking weed or whatever it is. Like, it's just not, it's just
Careful.
Don't get too wild.
I mean, it is so weird though, because like, especially, I think this is everywhere. So like the big running clubs in Chicago, it's very common to like, you have a workout Wednesday and then afterwards it's pint night. You go to the local bar. Well, when COVID restrictions aren't there, but you do your workout, then you go to the local bar and like the first pint is on the running club. Like that's a very common part of running culture. And then obviously like, sure, beer, whatever, it hurts your performance if you have too much, if you're a binge drinker, of course. But also MJ would hurt his performance if he had 10 beers the night before a game. So like, it doesn't seem like it's treated equally.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
I mean, he would have tall boys literally in the locker room. Like,
yeah, and it was cool. And you have high school kids watching that and they're like, I want to be MJ. I want to smoke a cigar and have a Miller High Life in the locker room. Like that looks so cool. But then runners, it's like, oh, I can't have a beer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always wondered that. And we ask like a lot of our guests that question, and like everyone's like, I don't know. It's just the way it is. It's just like a societal norm for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a good question. I wondered the same thing too. I'm like, can we change this stigma around it? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that's just been like how it is for the past, I don't know, some odd years. And people don't really like do anything to question it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we're not super fast, but we'll try to change that with the Beer Mile podcast. We'll try to combine the two a little bit better. So
you need to start training more.
Yeah. Up the running, less on the beer drinking. But
we don't have a world record, so that's something you've got up on us.
I mean, well, you also haven't tried / a lot of the guy this again, like it is a pro beer, by pro beer miler. I mean, a guy that like me that maybe makes $1,000 a year from beer miling versus a pro runner like Lopez. Like, who would actually be better? Are pro runners so far away from the drinking because they don't ever do it during the season that they would be bad at the beer mile and that I could actually beat them? Or would they, for whatever reason, like just be able to smoke me and I would look ridiculous because they're so much faster than me? And I'm serious. I'm really curious on that.
I am curious too. I honestly think it would be pretty even. Like, I think that they're like, because we don't, I feel like chugging is like a skill. Mm-hmm. I don't know, in my opinion, like not, I feel like you have to practice that in order to get better at it. And I feel like that is a huge component of the beer mile, obviously. And then also top that with like having to run with like, a full stomach or that much carbonation. Like, I feel like that would slow them down. So I don't think they would run as fast as you think they would. And then obviously like the whole chugging part, I feel like they would lose some time on as well. So
that's true. I think if they trained for it, like it is a skill. Like it can be learned. Like I sucked at chugging the first whatever. In college, I sucked at chugging, and then I just like practiced chugging water, and I got better at it. But so I think they could beat me, but that's why we're trying to put on this like pro beer miler, like beer mile versus pro runners, like post Olympics, post Fifth Ave Mile. Talking to Chris Chavez about it. We're trying to put it on, and I want to try to race. Like Eric and Craig, and I don't even know who else, Lopez. I mean, whoever would be willing to do it. It'd be fun to race them, and then. Try to put up some prize money. We'll see how things go down. But like the guy that has a world record in the beer miler, I mean, he is a pro runner, so he's actually legit at both. And so, but there's also like guys on the Bowerman team have like PRs 8 to 10 seconds faster than him in the mile. So like maybe they could beat him, but who knows?
Yeah. I'd be interested to see that. I wouldn't want to participate myself, but
fair enough. Well, if you're there cheering it on, that would be
that's the hype.
That would be the hype.
There are clubs in New York City, so
perfect. We're there then.
Exactly. I mean, Carissa said that she would be willing to do it. She thinks she would be good at it. I don't know if that's true or not. But Carissa and Shelby, if we could get them to do it, you could cheer them on.
I don't know how good of a chugger Carissa is. I've never seen her.
I mean, she went to Mizzou, so
like that means anything. I mean, every like Big 12, Big 10 school, like they're all party schools. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to be in that crowd, it's always a party school.
I feel like Shelby could be good at it.
Yeah,
for sure.
she'd be good at it.
She would be good at it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, that's the goal. Put on a race, have fun with it, and then post for that mile. Then go out in New York, see what there is to offer. Hopefully by then everyone's vaccinated and able to go out. So
New York is
fun. Sounds pretty lit.
Okay, a little bit of an out there question. How many holes does a straw have?
2. No. 1.
Explain the logic too.
Because it's a continuous hole, I guess. So yeah, I guess just 1. Right? I think 1.
Okay. You got convinced.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
you're both right.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no right answer. So
I mean, Nessa went to Stanford, so like we should probably just accept that answer
without any explanation.
Yeah.
Just accept it. Okay. I don't know. Where our guests are like half and half. So
It's a really important question.
Yeah.
it's very important. It's like it's more important than running, than
definitely.
having
Jobs,
fun, our jobs. It's the most important question you could ask.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let us know what the final conclusion is.
All right. Do you have another closing question, or should we get into?
Well, I have one more.
Okay, ask it.
All right. Thinking back to the most wild night you've ever had. What were you drinking that night? The most wild night you've ever had. What were you drinking?
Like what type of drink?
Oh,
were you drinking that
it
night?
was definitely a mixture.
Everything.
Of course.
I feel like the worst nights I've had in my entire life, I've always started off with beer and gone to, wait, no. Is that the saying? What's the saying?
Beer before liquor, never been sicker.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always start off with beer because I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be, casual night.
Yep.
But I also like IPAs, so I feel like that's just never casual. If I'm like, grabbing a 6-pack of IPAs, and then it's to the mixed drinks, and then it's shots and
It's
downhill from there.
And then you're out and about, and it's like whatever people are handing you. Yeah, no.
I'm pretty OCD about not mixing, but I would just say like vodka-based cocktails, like a vodka cran that has, or like a cosmopolitan that has like a secret amount of liqueur also added in.
Yeah.
So you just don't even realize that you're having way more than one drink. And I'm like pretty lightweight. So like just a couple of those, and then it's just like, you don't know what happened.
Yeah. I don't drink vodka crans anymore.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years.
It's a dangerous drink.
All right, shall we prep for?
Yeah. So here's the final question. What are the stakes on a game of Flip Cup with you all? Like, what are you all willing to bet? How confident are you that you're going to beat us in Flip Cup?
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10.
Well, I would just like to say that we realize not all cups are created equally, and the cups that we purchased, the only red cups that could be found in Flagstaff are not exactly like traditional cups that we're used to, I would say.
Yeah.
And I do think they're disadvantaged. So I would just like to preface it with that.
Man, we're using John's already.
Okay.
Non-regulation cup size.
Interesting.
All right.
So is it just some like off-brand, like not solo cup, just some off-brand, like who knows what it is?
Oh, they're
hefty.
They're hefty solo cups.
Hefty. Okay.
But they're like, I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Do you,
No, ours are ribbed.
No,
ours are ribbed
ours are
horizontally.
this one, I have two different ones
I'll tell
here.
you.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, the blue ones are better, I think. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
because they don't have the. Okay, we'll find out. We have one of both, so we'll see what happens.
Ours are ribbed horizontally.
Oh, they are ribbed horizontally.
Oh,
See that?
that's weird. I've never seen that actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were called the party cups though. So it's like, oh, these must be for a party. And you play a flip cup at parties.
Okay, total sidebar. What's your favorite drinking game? Like if you're like at a pregame or whatever, are you like a Pong or a flip cup or a boom cup? What's your thing?
Stack cup. Is that what?
Rage Cage?
Yeah, Rage Cage, stack cup.
Like this one?
Yes.
Yeah,
ping
and then
pong ball.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
a big stack cup fan. I love that game.
Yeah, I mean that was actually our jam in college as well. So it's good to know that the game travels well.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm a little bit older than I'm 28. Adam's. A little bit younger,
it
so.
was a good game, but I just
Oh,
don't.
yeah,
I
not
never remember playing the game. I'm not very good at it.
I don't think it was from the beer. It was from the liquor that you changed to after drinking the beer.
Probably,
it wasn't from the beer. How about this? If like our cups are that much better, then after we do like a round or two, then we'll start doing double each.
Oh yeah.
If
Okay.
So have you prepped more than like the cups are going to detract from your performance, or no?
'Cause we actually haven't prepped. We haven't done this since we played Allie Ostrander and Spencer Brown. Like we haven't done this for like 2 months.
Yeah, we actually watched that for some inspiration.
There we go.
all right.
There we go. I mean, you saw us going easy on them and smoked them.
You guys
Right?
got it on the first try every single time, so I'm not feeling very confident. So if we win,
How savage do you want to be? Scale 1 to 10.
We're down for any level of savage. We don't really care.
Shave heads?
oh yeah, if we win, you guys gotta shave your heads.
I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it. I mean, I'd do it.
Probably
I'll look ridiculous at the track meet in a few weeks when I'm around all the athletes. I won't have any hair, but okay.
We probably wouldn't like hold you to it. But
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mean-
we're men of our word.
Yeah.
Also, I think our table's very bouncy.
it's so bouncy.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I just
You just got
Wait, we shouldn't practice anymore because they're gonna think we're way better than we are.
we
And they'll-
don't really practice,
but they'll back down on their bets.
Okay. So we'll go not too savage on you. You have to buy us drinks after the Texas qualifier meet, or how about like at the end of the season after Fit That Mile, whenever that is, you have to buy us drinks like at a bar or a club after that.
That's it. Okay.
I mean, if you want to wager more, feel free. I'm just trying to be polite to guests.
This is really uneven now. I don't feel bad.
wager more.
Maybe you guys shave your heads if we win.
I mean, let's be real. Who's winning here?
I mean, we're pretty confident though, so I don't think it's even a wager for us. It's pretty confident.
What about merch? Do we get merch?
Oh,
They did watch Spencer.
you did
Alley.
watch it. I mean, I will say that woman's crop sweatshirt,
That's
only
good.
2 people have it. Allie Ostrander and Stephanie Brown. Those are the only 2 people that have it. So
You mean the next two?
yeah, of course.
Wow.
Okay, it's on. And just to make sure we're in game mode here.
Yeah, I gotta change.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
You wear your glasses?
Oh yeah.
All right. Game mode.
I don't have
Game mode.
Oh, she's got glasses too. What? I was not expecting that.
Focus.
Wait, are we filming
We're doing
it?
best of 5 until they start losing.
True.
All
Oh,
right.
you already got yours. Okay, you already got yours. My bad. You already got yours.
Ooh, Heineken and hams. Yum.
Sinclaire has like this much liquid in your cup. Like,
It's just
Hey, challenge accepted.
wait. So to clarify, if you guys lose, you get merch plus you have to buy us drinks, right?
Yeah.
and if you lose, you're shaving your heads.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Down, up, down, drink.
Go.
Oh, they sandbagged the shit out of it. Oh, we're done. All right.
Good job, you.
Yeah, Nessa, that was better than the
Impressive.
yesterday. You got it on the first one.
I know.
Carry the team. All right. Us two now.
Yeah.
Down, up, down, drink.
Come on. Oh my god. I know. I want to get it.
She's practicing. Okay.
Oh,
These cups suck.
these cups
They
suck.
suck.
All right, let's add a cup. Let's add a cup.
Okay, we're adding. All right.
Let's add a cup. You were going first, so you can double.
All right. Who am I starting with?
Back. Yeah.
All right.
Nessa.
Why don't you call it? Because you guys are behind. You get the advantage.
Okay. Down, up, down, drink.
Best of 7.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we were going to 7.
All right. We'll add another cup.
Wait, that was two. You guys had two cups?
He did 2 cups.
Yeah.
Now now we'll each do 2 cups.
Oh yeah, you both gotta do
okay.
two.
Oh, you're on another.
Yeah.
Kind of nervous about shaving my head. I've only done it once.
Ooh, exciting. Well, you are up 3-0, so
I think we should just play endless rounds and then you cut the ones that you win.
So we have to go until you get like 3 that you actually win.
Yeah.
We can just put them. Okay. That's fair.
Chris and I are going to be like unrecognizably drunk.
I like that.
Are you better or worse when you're drunk?
Maybe better, honestly. I don't know. I think about it less.
It definitely like teeters off though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like golf.
I'll start. Yeah. You call it.
Okay, down, up, down, drink.
These cups
Is that-
are the worst.
That was 4. Yeah.
Do we add 3
Just add. Let's add one more cup.
a piece?
A piece.
All right.
One more cup apiece.
Last
There-
of them. We're at 3 cups now. We can't even get 1 down. And they're drinking beer. Jeez.
Heineken doesn't taste too.
It's not our game.
Ugh, I don't think it tastes very good.
It is the cups.
It honestly might be. So yeah, we have the vertical rib versus your horizontal. So we'll have to look up after this, like what's the worst?
What's optimal?
Yeah, what's the optimal flip cup? Because I have no idea.
Yeah. I would like to know because
It's not the
this
existence.
ain't
This ain't it, sis.
Like, should we rub something on the table?
You can towel it off.
like some maple syrup.
Yeah, or like
Rub-
even some flour maybe or something. Look, you can't even see the table in the video.
I was more thinking like you lay down like a layer of like sticky glue or something.
Yeah.
So whatever you do when you flip it, it just sticks.
We got some maple syrup. I don't know if we should be
Do you
doing
think the
that.
placemat would be better?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
That?
Okay.
I think we'd be really good if we had the right cups.
No, I think you belong in the JV league. It's okay. Not
everyone can play varsity. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're varsity runners. We're varsity at drinking games. Apparently, that's the difference.
I didn't get out much at Stanford, so you know.
Oh, that's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's clear. It's very clear now. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I just noticed Nike is a woman. Is that an Ari reference?
Is that a what?
Ariana Grande.
Oh, you know, like the Greek goddess Nike.
No, but like
No, Nike.
goddess
No,
woman.
no. It's not.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
Nike like the goddess.
sorry. I was getting hyped thinking about Ariana. Let's go.
Okay.
We don't like Ariana.
I don't like Ariana at all.
Oh, you don't
Hold
like
on.
her music or
Hater
her as a
blockers
person?
off.
Her music, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm so offended.
I don't know. She's pretty hype. Okay.
She was the last
Fair.
person I saw in concert. FYI, amazing.
Whoa, this is getting mega
serious.
I'm upset. I'm focused now, though. Let's fucking go.
I didn't mean to piss you off.
I may have DM'd her this weekend. But actually I did.
I know.
It's not gonna get a response, but I tried, you know. Okay, so I think it's up to you now.
Yep.
Okay. Good talk.
Okay. Total sidebar.
Okay. Down, up, down, drink.
That ain't it.
You got time, no pressure, you got time.
Hurry, go. Gosh.
Oh,
That was a tie?
that was it. Tie goes to the runner. This is what tie goes to you all because you're the runners. So
That was huge.
there we go.
How many more rounds do we need to do to win? I was thinking, I was like, maybe we'd be better at this if we were drunk too.
Yeah.
I think you probably would be.
Pro runners don't do that, though.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
I think this is our last beer, so
Ever?
Oh, shoot.
well, I mean, there's never a last beer. There's more in the fridge, but I'm saying this is the last beer we have over here.
Gotcha.
Jeez, this is
I mean, shit happens when you're playing with 6 cups.
Okay, here we go.
Down,
Down.
up, down. Drink.
I'm worried. Sinclair's got the rhythm. Oh,
Wow.
we clicked.
That was actually beating us on 2v2. What was that, Adam?
I don't know.
What the hell was that?
I was getting nervous.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm rattled after the Ariana Grande comments.
Oh my
Oh,
good.
it hurts. He got in his head.
They're getting in my head. I gotta keep my hater blockers on.
All right. So I mean, there's a couple back to backs. We're gonna just splice them back to the beginning, and you know.
Back to the beginning.
okay.
Your call.
Down, up, down, drink.
Go, go, go.
Wow.
Have you guys-
That was actually damn.
Awesome.
And now here's the question. Do we go down to 2 apiece?
I was gonna say we can't do 3 cups. They just beat us actually 2v2 2 times in a row. We can't. We're getting smoked.
I can't tell if you guys were sandbagging the entire time or if you're just warmed up.
Warmed up.
I feel like that's kind of a hustle.
We always have 100% effort going in.
All right, let's just do the two that are the two that are there.
All right.
Two that are.
I told
Do less. Like, she was drinking for way longer than you were the beer. Okay, just
Oh,
keep
you're saying
my throat like that.
we were cheating?
So, but I think this is part of the hydration plan. Is like if you play flip cup every night and you drink multiple bottles of water, you're gonna actually be super hydrated. So you just gotta put flip cup in.
Yeah, tell Jerry that we're helping you out. I mean,
We're gonna do this every night after dishes while the club tunes are bumping.
All right, I think it's us.
Yep.
Okay.
Down. Up. Down.
No, it's okay. You can keep going.
Oh.
You both are. You're just very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we confirmed that you owe us a drink, and we'll send you merch.
Cool.
Okay, so like one final game. Like what are the stakes on this one game? And we'll stick with 2 cups apiece versus those two. Like what could we do for like one final all or nothing match?
If we
Oh, dude.
You can't hang over here. Too much water
too much
chugging.
hydration.
Yeah.
Keep going. If we win, you guys have to go to the casino with us when it's COVID safe.
I can get into some blackjack.
What do you want for us?
Doesn't have to be merch. Could be a challenge, like a dumb video that we have to do.
I'm just thinking about milk boy price.
Oh, my boys! I would love to have Steve will do it on the podcast because I actually think I could out chug him.
Really?
1 to 3 beers out of the bottle, I could out chug him for sure.
Wow.
But not like a handle of liquor. No way. I'm not gonna do that. But like a beer out of the bottle, I don't think he can chug as fast as me.
Wow.
I have a suggestion if you guys don't have anything.
Please. Yeah.
You guys are the creative minds here.
Okay, if you guys win, Chris and I will do a Speedo beer mile in February.
I don't even have a Speedo.
Yeah, we'll go buy one.
But like, how do you know? They probably don't want to see us do a Speedo beer mile.
They don't, but like it's punishment.
I guess.
I'm cool with that. That sounds good.
A Speedo beer mile?
Speedo beer mile it is.
Okay, this sounds terrible, but I guess that's the point of a punishment. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, they're not gonna win, so.
So, whoa.
Do we need another beer?
It's just
Yeah,
one
one-
round.
No.
Who's leading? Stakes are all in this round.
We're good?
Yep.
All right, that's a healthy pour.
Well,
That's
I
a
mean-
very healthy pour. Okay.
I'm being generous.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Hater
Hater
blocker's
blocker's
back
on.
on. Let's go. Okay.
I feel like we need club music going on right now.
Oh, I'll edit. Of course, I'm gonna be club music. It's edited in right now.
Okay.
Let's do
Ready?
it.
Down, up, down, drink.
Let's fucking go. Woo. Sheesh. This is
I pulled my weight there, just gonna
No,
say.
you did. I was really bringing the team down. Sorry.
We'll level the playing field at some point. We'll play in person with the same,
Yeah.
all the same cups, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out from there. Actually, I mean, a better competition. What did you call it? So we call it boom cup, where you like bounce the ball and then stack the. What'd you call
Yeah.
it?
Well, you call it
Rage
rage cage.
Race
Rage
cage.
cage. I call it stack up.
Stack cup. Okay. Got
Maybe
it.
there's so many different names for that game.
That'll be the ultimate test
I mean,
because it
Chris-
sounds like that's all of our games. So,
Yeah.
It's 3 of our games, and
well, yeah, except for him, but that's fine. That's fine.
Majority wins.
Exactly. All right, cool. Well, we'll see not Nessa, but we'll see you, Sinclaire, at the Texas qualifier. And
Yeah, sounds good.
yeah. Well, when this releases, like a week after this releases, or maybe 2 weeks. So
Good chatting with you guys. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for coming on. There you have it. Chris and Adam versus Nessa and Sinclaire. It's a pretty close matchup, you know. I mean, not everyone can be a pro at everything.
we were trying very hard.
I mean, those ladies would beat us in a race right now. We'll beat them in the flip cup. I think they would prefer to beat us in a race, so we'll give them that. It looks like they owe us maybe some drinks, maybe a fun night at the club, maybe a night at the casino at some point when it's COVID safe later this year. So we'll take them up on that. Hopefully you'll see them soon in some beermile.com swag. If you're looking for some beermile.com swag, beermile.com, click on the swag button in the menu. Ali Ostrander and Stephanie Brown, the only ladies that have the beermile.com crop sweatshirt.
True. And if you're this far, again, please do subscribe. It really helps. You'll be able to get notified when we do drop that content with Sinclaire and Nessa going to the casino, potentially going to the club, assuming our man's Jerry is down for it.
Oh yeah, Jerry will be there too. Don't worry about it. Jerry's coming on the pod next with Centro and Josh Thompson. It's going to be a big day. Josh Kerr's coming that day too. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Donovan Brazier said he's down, so it's going to be a boxing gloves type of episode. Everyone's going to be there. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. Everyone's going to be there. I'm not trying to...
Amazing. Totally great.
Amazing episode. Amazing. Anyway, we're digressing. Make sure you do subscribe, though. We really appreciate that. And don't forget to check out the Harrier. Beer Mile 20 for 20% off the Harrier. You can get a dope shirt like this. I see you, Craig Ingalls. I see you looking at this drip. Check out the Harrier. Don't miss out.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new segment. This is called Shoot Your Shot. A lot of you have been asking how we land the interviewees that we do, and here's
the background details.
And and all the background details, who we're DMing, and here's kind of a show of our own hand of how we go about messaging that, as well as some of the failures that we've had in the past.
Hell yeah! So I mean, this only makes sense. New segment, Shoot Your Shot. Like, I feel like we preach this, as well as, it's our life. Like, as a podcast, when you're trying to get guests, it's your life. And so we're like, screw it. Let's just show you some of the shots that we're shooting. So the reason we have a video version, and we'll read it all out for the audio version, but the reason we have a video version, we have the green screen, we can show the DMs behind us. So you're gonna want to check that out, but let's get into it. So every episode from now on, we're going to just show you shots that we're shooting outside of the Beer Mile podcast. So it could be like, for example, today, I'm shooting my shot with Ariana Grande. So I'm going to show you that one, but then we're also going to show you what are we DMing the friends and family of the guests that we're getting these details. And we'll just give you some insight into that because I think it's pretty funny. So new segment, let us know what you think. Well, we're going to keep it in regardless.
Hashtag Shoot Your Shot.
So let's start with a relevant one to this podcast. So Sinclaire and Nessa, we didn't go as ham as we did on Craig and Eric. Nothing too savage for Nessa and Sinclaire, but we did talk to Sinclaire's mom ahead of time. So let's get into Shoot Your Shot
with Mrs. Johnson.
With Ms. Johnson.
I got to say, Mrs. Johnson, special lady, she was pretty cool. It took a while for me to figure out, like, because whenever you creep on somebody, you're like, okay, who are their friends who are probably not gonna say anything too savage, and I'm like, all right, who's Sinclair's mom? So I'm scrolling through her posts, through her tweets, and I'm like, okay, this lady looks like she's either her sister or her mom. And I click on her and I'm like, oh, what do you know? It's her mom. So Mrs. Johnson, I send her a DM on Instagram. I say, hi, Mrs. Johnson. Hope you're doing well. I'm interviewing Sinclaire tomorrow. And I was wondering if you had any funny childhood memories that I should ask about. Also, you have got to be the coolest mom ever. Doctor and drone photographer. Sheesh. So you gotta throw in a little spice, I think, with your DMs. Yeah, sheesh. To be fair, it's an honest feeling. Like, she's a physician, plus she's an FAA certified drone photographer. So kind of savage. Just had to put that in. And she responded with what I think was
2 paragraphs.
Yeah, 2 paragraphs.
Big fan.
Again, shout out to Mrs. Johnson. She had some great insights.
On my side, this isn't a Shoot Your Shot with Nessa and Sinclaire this week. This is a Shoot Your Shot. My girl, Ariana Grande.
Which is relevant to the podcast because Nessa and Sinclaire...
Nessa said she doesn't like her, so...
Not fans.
And it's kind of funny, I was on the treadmill today listening to Ariana Grande's latest album, so, a little bit of spice. Sheesh. I hit on my girl Ariana this weekend, actually. So let me read you exactly what it is. So there's a video on YouTube. Myself, big fan of the Power Hour. So there's this Power Hour on the YouTubes called the Hottest Girl Power Hour And number 2, so there's number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is way better. So here's the DM that I sent to Ariana this weekend when I was having myself a time. I said,
Wait, did you say hyped or drunk?
No. I don't need to be drunk to have fun. I don't do that.
Or DM stars.
No. I mean, Ariana and I, we're going to meet at Good Morning America next year anyway. Like, we're inevitably going to be there because we're going to get big. And so, Ariana Grande, I'm going to meet you. I'm going to be in one of your music videos. Ariana Grande, I said, just saw you in the Hottest Girls Power Hour 2. You nailed it at minute 45. Let me know when you want to grab coffee.
I mean, the closing line is
it's not an option. It's like, just let me know when you want to grab coffee. Like, just let me know.
I think that's how you get in. You know, you get in with these celebs by saying, hey, like, I really appreciated you in X. Also, here's like my schedule, or like, here's what I'm doing. I'll be there for you when you want it.
Even though she doesn't know what X is.
Yeah.
But it was red. That's all I'm going to say. It was red. It was red. No response, but it was red. So she knows what's up. If
I got read by Ariana. Okay, well, if you're this far, you know what we're about to do. We're about to do our beer of the episode. This one's coming at you from Spiteful Brewing. Working for the weekend, double IPA. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. With some trippy-ass characters if you're on the video version.
Yeah, Spiteful Brewing, a Chicago brewery, pretty close to us. I've only been there in person once, but I think we said this for a previous episode on the graphic designer. It's saying like they need to make more. Spiteful, like top-notch graphic designer. This is fire.
It kind of, if you guys are like Rick and Morty or like a
it's that
Cartoon
vibe.
Network fans, this is that vibe for sure.
This is good stuff. So Spiteful Brewing in Chicago, get there in person if you can. Great scene to have a beer, but also check it out at the store. I mean, you're not gonna miss this. I mean, look at this can. It's like super bright pastels, but then also they go for like the kind of weird dead. Oh, actually, I just realized. So Monday is like the dude is like Michael Jackson from South Park, and then by Friday
he's a normal guy.
He's like a business guy, which is kind of the reverse. Like, I'm usually the opposite. I'm like,
oh no, but like Monday you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you're like, okay, I'm kind of normal because like tomorrow's Friday. Then Friday you're like, hey, look at me, I'm a guy. Sure, we'll go with that. I mean, 7.9%. ABV, that's
in a tall boy.
That's free.
Nessa and Sinclaire, wow, you got us a little more tipsy than we were expecting tonight on a Tuesday when we're recording this.
Speaking of which, they like clubs going up on a Tuesday.
And that's the problem. Like, they started talking about the club in Barcelona and all this stuff, and it just got us hyped, and we started like drinking more, and then we played some more Flip Cup, and
they're like, you need to play with 3 cups, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, so Nessa and Sinclaire, like, can you please apologize for what you did to us on a Tuesday night? Like, we were not expecting to have this many drinks on a Tuesday night.
Don't apologize to us. Apologize to Chris's wife and my girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm trying to like break the world record in the beer mile. Like, how do you expect me to run a 4.0 mile if you're making me drink all these drinks? Like, come on. So, it's fine.
It was a good episode.
It's for the people.
Thanks, fellas.
It's for the content. Thank you all. So this Spiteful Brewing, let's get back to reviewing it because we never finished. So it's a double IPA. Someone did correct me in the episode where we talked about the beef, where I claimed that the double was a double IPA, but it was actually a Belgian. So I did screw that up.
Really?
The double IPA does taste worse to me than the Belgian style. I still like it, but before I was claiming that I love double IPAs, triple IPAs, which I do. But it's really the Belgian style is what I really like. And I thank you for the listener who corrected me on that. So what would you rate the drinkability for?
So we do drinkability, general, and then for double IPAs.
Drinkability, taste, and X factor, but let's do it for both compared to other IPAs as well as just across the board. So let's start with drinkability. And let's say to other IPAs to start.
Okay.
So gonna do the finger mode, count of 3, so we don't see each other's answers, we're not influenced. 3, 2, 1. Adam with the safe as usual, 7. Oh, it's a 7.
I mean,
it's like, it's
okay,
pretty good.
But like
It's
as far
7.
as, okay, all right, as far as IPAs, pretty good. Don't know if I could have more than 3 or 4.
Yeah, actually, why did I rate it a 6? That's kind of high.
So my 10 to like close to my 10 for the listeners is
Green Line.
No.
Oh, okay. What is it?
I think Green Line's pretty good, but I think Revolution Brewing, their IPA is fantastic.
Yep.
That's my upper bounds. This I would say is a 6 or a 7 as far as
Compared to other IPAs.
It
is also a double, so it's like kind of at a disadvantage, you could say, because it's a little bit stronger.
Right.
So it's like drinkability level's probably a little lower.
Not even counting the fact that it's 7.9. 7.9 is that's a free 7.9.
Exactly.
So let's do drinkability as far as general beers that we've had. Count to 3.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, 6?
I think it's
It's a
pretty
3.
good.
I had a 3 because it's just because it's double IPA. It's stronger, both hop wise, IBU wise, as well as alcohol wise. It's not like I'm not going to drink a 6-pack of this. So it's not that drinkable.
I think IBU wise, you would be surprised. I don't think it's very high.
Oh, this guy doesn't know anything. Listeners,
Lawyer.
please call us out because I feel like we deserve to be called out more than we
All right.
Because here's a funny little tidbit for y'all that are still listening, which is probably 2 people. If you're one of those 2 people, hit us up in the DMs and let us know. We appreciate it. But in the episode with Colleen Quigley, we are sitting on a rock in Buffalo Park, and Adam says that the blonde ale tastes like 312, and I cut it because I was like, this guy's dumb as shit. Like, a blonde doesn't taste like 312, and so I just cut it because I was like, I didn't want people to think that we're dumb. But so jump in right now. I'm leaving this in because since Colleen, we said no more cuts. Like, that's our rule now, no more cuts. So tell him that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Whatever you just said is wrong.
This has a really good score on Beer Advocate, so I'm standing my ground.
It has a really good score, but what's the IBU level?
Where's our IBUs?
It says typically double IPAs are 60 to...
Yeah.
So that's high.
Well,
that's high.
typically, but that's what I'm telling you is this isn't very hoppy.
So Adam is claiming that this double IPA isn't very hoppy compared to other double IPAs. If you actually know about beer, because we are not claiming we're beer experts. If you,
I am.
We know. I mean, we know what we like to drink, which is almost everything, almost any day of the week.
If it goes down my throat, sure.
Then it's fine. You know. But if you actually know what you're talking about, we in a quick search, we spent like 30 seconds. We couldn't find the IBUs for this, so. If you think that this one compared to other double IPAs is more or less hoppy, just let us know in the comments and we'll take your word for it. But Adam's claiming it's a little, I guess, more drinkable because it's a lower IBU.
Yeah, I don't think it's as hoppy as other beers that I've drank. I mean, a Google search says that double IPAs are 60 to 100.
Yeah. It's like it's an upper end. I mean, it's not only an IPA, but it's a double IPA. So yeah, it's gonna be hoppier.
To me, it does. Maybe I'm confusing IBUs with bitterness, but I don't think it tastes that bitter. It's not very bubbly. I think it goes down easy.
Fair, you know.
Speaking of going down easy, let's do the taste. Do we start with general, or what do we start with?
Let's start with comparing it to other IPAs.
All right.
So IPAs, double IPAs, triple IPAs, all in the game. So 3, 2, 1. I went safe. 7.
Oh, I went an 8. I think taste-wise,
it's pretty good. I mean, we're agreed on that. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I will say I'm kind of a P word on the drinkability, but taste-wise, I'm a strong 8.
Are you persuaded at all that it's higher alcohol content? So you're like, oh, I'm getting more bang for my buck. This is a value play.
Compared to other IPAs, I don't think so, because a lot of IPAs are higher ABV. I think when we get to rating generally,
yeah,
we'll see. I think I kind of am already.
I'll stand by in the episode that I'm referencing where I claim, in the beef episode 16, where I claim that I'm trying to figure out why I like double IPAs and triple IPAs more than IPAs. I still actually stand by that because I actually like this better than some standard IPAs. Even Goose Island Green Line, I prefer this over that. And so I'm still like curious.
Goose Island Green Line is still that to me feels very hoppy, and this feels less hoppy.
That's what I don't understand. Is it like my taste buds are stupid, or like is that the truth? Like that it is a double IPA for whatever reason is less hoppy, harsh, I don't know, whatever word you want to use. So if you're a brewmaster, if you actually know what you're talking about, because we don't, comment, let us know.
Yeah,
but that's the reason for my rating, basically.
We actually really do want to have a brewmaster on the pod just because we're so inept at rating beers. Like we want to know why we like what we like and why we dislike what we don't like.
All right, so I think Adam and I are agreeing that it's pretty good on both the drinkability and the taste. I mean, we're pretty, I don't know, we're pretty status quo when we rate beers, unfortunately. We'll try to get more extreme one way or the other going forward, especially as we have more in our palate. Like we're building up. This is our first time drinking as the Beer Mile podcast, so we've only drank for 3 months. We haven't had that many IPAs. We'll get there.
Tell us if you want us to be more savage, because we will.
Yeah, if you want us to be really savage, like everything's a 1 or a 10, just let us know. We'll do it. Last piece, X Factor. I think I'll make this really quick. It's a local spot. Like I really appreciate Spiteful. Good for you. Also, like we mentioned, the graphic designer on this. Excellent work. Hopefully you're paid well. If you're not, Spiteful Brewing.
Sauce them some dough.
Sauce them some dough, because I feel like so many times when I'm in the store, the reason I'm picking a beer is I'm looking at the can like, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
So appreciate you, graphic designer. Hope to meet you one day. That's my X Factor. Do you have anything to add with the X Factor?
Yeah, I would just reiterate that my X Factor is the graphic design. I think it's funny, but also like eye-catching too, and that's what would grab me in the store.
Let's close this out. The Harrier, Beer Mile 20% off. Don't be that guy that doesn't have a shirt from the Harrier or a sticker. The Harrier, also Garmin. Make sure you click the link in the bio. You got to get a new GPS watch. I mean, you can't be walking around with some fake ass data or a Timex. Get that GPS watch, link in bio. Slap the subscribe, slap the like, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Download the podcast, subscribe. I mean, whatever. You guys know what to do. If you share this with a friend, that's all that really matters to us. We don't really care about the money. If you just share it with a friend and one other person gets entertainment out of it, that's the most important thing. So please share it.
Yeah, send us your ideas for videos, people we should interview. And have yourself a day.